last team, let's finish it up with the Chargers. Mike Williams. You still got Keenan Allen there. You still got Austin Ekeler there. Justin Herbert entering year 2. What's his ceiling at quarterback right now? He's going as the QB7. So you got Mahomes, Allen Murray, Jackson Prescott, Wilson, and then Justin Herbert ahead of Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, and Jalen Hurts. Is that where you're kind of taking Herbert, or is he too high for you, or are you buying into like the upside?
No, I think I'm buying into the upside. You do have to worry about the sophomore slump, just regressing to the mean a bit, but he definitely has the talent. I think Joe Lombardi is going to take this offense to new heights. I think he's going to get the most out of Austin Ekeler and Mike Williams. So that's why I think I'll buy in on Justin Herbert again this year. And Jared Cook, he should be a pretty good short-term replacement for Hunter Henry.
Yeah.
So I think he has all the pieces in place, an improved offensive line. There's a lot to like where, even if he does regress a little bit, I think he has the talent to take, it's tough to do this, but take over like an Aaron Rodgers or a Tom Brady.
Yeah. And, he still can run a little bit, I know he wasn't like running all over the place, but has a little bit of that. I think there's a lot to like. And in Keenan Allen, wide receiver 10, I think that's pretty fair. But let's talk. Well, first of all, let's talk Cooks, and then we'll finish up because Ekeler is running back 10. I think that's also pretty on point. Cook right now is the tight end 19. Is there a little bit of upside there?
Yeah, I think there's some upside there. Like I said, he's replacing Hunter Henry. He already knows the Joe Lombardi offense, the Sean Payton tree, so he's coming from New Orleans. He should fit right in, and when he's healthy, you can play him if you're in a deep enough league or best ball where you're taking tight ends that late. So I think he's a steal there. And then you have Donald Parham backing him up, XFL legend, who could be a nice, injury upside replacement if Cook were to go down. So I wouldn't overlook the Charger tight ends. I think they will play a role in the offense this year.
Yeah, I think Cook has legit top 12 upside, especially since like your tight end 12 and 13 right now are Henry and Smith, who, yeah, they have upside too. They could be focal points of that offense, but they could also kind of split targets. Whereas, Cook could be like a legit, tight, the only guy that's really seeing the field on pass routes for the Chargers. So I think he's going way too low. And let's finish up with Mike Williams, because I think he's an interesting guy. So let's talk about the prop for Mike Williams.
Yeah, so Joe Lombardi said that he intends to be the X receiver in his offense, which is the same role that Michael Thomas plays. So people are getting all excited about Mike Williams. Are you buying the hype? Do you think he'll have a year 5 breakout? I have his receiving yards at 800.5. Are you going over or under that?
Yeah, I'm about 100 over. I do think he has a break. Wait, listen, this guy he broke out already. Let's give him some credit. He had that horrible year 1. But he kind of righted the ship. Just looking at his numbers, year 2, he gets 10 touchdowns, 43 catches. The next year, he only gets 2 touchdowns, but he goes over 1,000 yards on 49 catches. And then last year, it's a little bit of a slow year, but he's been around about 3 catches and between 50 and 65 yards for the last couple of years. I think you see him on the higher end of that range, more toward the 3.5 mark. And so, what do you think of the, who's the third guy here? Is it Johnson? Is it Guyton? I think Johnson may jump Guyton at some point.
Oh yeah. I love Tyron Johnson. I wrote up that prop of the night or whatever with him last year. I love him. I think he has potential, but yeah, it's a 3-way tie right now with Guyton, Palmer, and Johnson. I would just avoid it completely. But I share your love for Mike Williams. And when I say breakout, like you said, when you look at his career stats, he's kind of like my golf game where nothing lined up. The same year, he had the 1 year with 10 touchdowns and the 1 year with over 1,000 yards and 2 touchdowns. I'm with you there. I think he's going to break out where he has both, potentially over 1,000 yards and double-digit touchdowns this year. So I'm buying in on Mike Williams breaking out this year.
Yeah, that's a guy you wide receiver 52. That's the guy you target and you say, okay, this guy could legit give me a top 30. Because remember, it's all correlated to the quarterback. We're projecting a top 7 season for Herbert, and that's not a stretch. And by the way, Chargers defense, I think you're going to see a drop. Like, I think this is going to be a shootout team all year. So, yeah, I'm bullish on Williams. I agree with you. I think Johnson is going to be the guy is that number 3 eventually. Yeah. So, yeah, if you're taking a late round flyer, but Cook is another guy who, if he's not completely washed, because he kind of, sometimes I thought he was washed, but it might have just been that weird Saints offense. Like, Cook can pretty much do what he does. Tight ends, once they get old, they don't like just drop off a cliff as much as you think. It's kind of a gradual decline. So I think Cook is a guy to target, but yeah, Williams at 52 is a steal.